Pretty busy meeting tonight with a wide variety of issues, and the first order of business is to approve the minutes of January 4th and 25th.
I got
Do you have more than that, Ben?
5 sets of minutes here. January 4th, January 11th, January 23rd, January 25th, and January 30th.
Okay.
Can we just table this to the next
Sure.
meeting and give me a chance to read
Yep,
through them?
that's fine.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
And tonight we have a special event in that we're recognizing the Insight Meditation Center, who every year makes a very generous donation to the town, a payment in lieu of taxes, which is, as a nonprofit, something that they don't have to do, but we are very, very grateful. Over the years, they've been wonderful people in the town of Barry, and have worked closely with the town, Department of Public Works and whatnot, on issues, and I have to say, put Barry on the map a few times, and Time Magazine and this and that, and you read about them and the Dalai Lama and everything, but I'd like to start by reading a letter, and it was dated December 18th, 2016. It's addressed to the board. Dear friends and neighbors, as this year draws to a close, we are pleased to present to the town of Barry deductions in the amount of $29,000 for year 2016. These gifts are from the Insight Meditation Society, the Barry Center for Buddhist Studies, and the Dharma Vihara Foundation. I hope I pronounced that right. While we recognize that our nonprofit status exempts us from paying local taxes, we are happy and fortunate to be able to offer these voluntary contributions. We are grateful for the town services and for the way in which we feel welcomed by the community. Our donations are an expression of our wish to support the town. And it goes on, throughout our history, our 3 organizations have worked hard to become increasingly integrated into the life of the town. Many of our employees live in town, and we make a conscious effort to use local business and tradespeople whenever possible. Thank you all for continuing to help us feel at home in Barry. With best wishes for the healthy and prosperous new year, and sung by Linda Spink of the Insight Meditation Society, Richard Henning, Barry Center for Buddhist Studies, and Joseph Goldstein of the Dharma Vihara Foundation. So, we have just a citation that we wanted to give to you and come up and have it presented. I thought people would be here, but yeah, come on up. And we'll come around this way. We usually do it this way, so. Okay. Is there anybody else with your group, with you tonight?
I'm gonna take pictures.
Yeah, come on up.
Thank you, because I don't
Come right
have
up.
my camera.
Yeah, that's good.
Come right up. And come in, Bill. Come on. Andrew, you want to be in?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is kind of informal, but
This is fine.
I just want to thank you very much. I know I've been on and off the board a few years, and I remember you folks have been doing this for a very long time for our town, and I think we're fortunate to have you here in Barry, and I think you have worked to present not just yourselves, but our town in a very positive light, and you know, I think we're very grateful for that, and we appreciate that very, very much, and you know, your work and so on, and you kind of put us on a much bigger map than would be otherwise. So we're very, very appreciative of that. So I have this to present to you. And, Ellie, did you want to get a picture of this?
Oh, sure.
We'll wait just 1 minute, okay? very much. So, on behalf of the board, Mr. Urban and Matt and myself, we just wanted to present to you this certificate of appreciation for all that you've done for us, and we look forward to working with you people for many, many, many years to come. So, with that, I'd like to Bill, come on. What? Ah, come on.
Give me some cheese. Thank you. Great.
Okay, well, we thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank
We
you
appreciate
very
it.
much. Thank you.
Okay. Very nice way to start a meeting. So, we also have with us tonight the Board of Health, and here to talk to us about the land transfer, which we are pretty close to having consummated down at the transfer station. And I don't know if you folks want to come up to the table or how you want to present it, Dana, but.
I'll sit here, right?
Yeah, that's fine, yeah. That's the same as this
I
one.
just wanna know if you have Mark's paper.
This one?
Matt?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanna make sure you read that over
Mark, do you want to come up?
before we get started.
Okay. I don't know if I've met you. I'm Charlie Chase, Chairman
Nice
of
to
the
meet you,
board.
Charlie.
It's good to
How
see
you
you,
been?
Mark.
Good to see you.
And Phil Hubbard, our, I guess, our acting town administrator. Heather went off to left to go to Lunenburg. So,
All right. You wanna, oh, what do we gotta do, just vote on whether we're gonna accept the property or not?
As I understand it, it's a joint vote. From what I understand, you vote and the two of us vote, correct? So I didn't know if you wanted to present any background information or anything either you two gentlemen of the board had to say.
Yep, I don't have, everything was here that Mark had done. I don't, if you got any questions, you can direct them to Mark.
No, I went through this and it covers pretty much what you told me before. I just wanted to see it there, so don't get me wrong, it means I don't have to say I heard somebody say something one day, it's just right there.
Sure.
And the only other question I really had was, and it kind of expounds a little bit on this, but more for the short term, was, do we have any, without getting into the quote-unquote executive session negotiation stuff, so we don't tip our hand on things, is there any thoughts or plans with what value this is to the town in the near future? Because, I mean, we currently have a contract that kind of says 2 or 5 acres, so I didn't know if you're gonna be revisiting this or rebidding this, or do you have any thoughts on that process?
Yeah, eventually I think we might try to expand. And then whoever's, I don't know exactly what, it's just been hashed around a little bit, we haven't talked about it much, but eventually we would like to expand the transfer station.
When the specifications that led to the bidding
Yeah,
of the operation of the transfer station, when they were put together, the assumption was all along that it was the 2 parts of the transfer station property were all one piece, and whatever company was successfully bid to run the transfer station, that they would have access to the whole site. So it actually was put out to bid that way, and through the various activities of transferring the transfer station property to the town that is being run now, and the separation by Waste Management out of this other piece, which was unexpected, that was discussed with the current service provider, Solid Waste Solutions, and they were amenable, for the time being at least, of running the transfer station on that half of the transfer station site that is now owned by the town. But originally, the intent was that they would have full and free access to the full site. So there was always an understanding that there was more there than what is currently accessible. And I think if the town was to look toward extending the current term of the agreement, or look at having someone provide additional services, or even if the town decided to, at some point, run this as the town of Barry alone, that would be something where that additional property certainly would support perhaps some additional services, where the current area that is owned by the town, it's fairly constrained in terms of acreage to do
Pretty-
anything beyond what you're doing
It's
there right
pretty
now.
tight in there to do anything else right at the moment. So with this other property, then we can expand and have more room to operate.
All right, I mean, one of the reasons I was asking is generally, and not getting lost in the history of it, but just looking at it, boom, snapshot right today. We sign this, we take it on, we pretty much are taking 3 acres of taxable land and getting rid of the taxable income, and we're not replacing it with an income of any sort. And I was just curious how that offset comes out to a benefit to the town. And it may not be right away, I understand that, but I didn't know if there's plans in view. And secondly, the difference in the role of the Board of Health being a regulatory agency versus who actually owns the contract with Solid Waste Solutions and the management of the site. Because if I'm correct, you don't really play both roles, right? You gotta kinda, so who owns the contracting of that site? Is it a DPW, is it a select board, is it a?
The contracting with solid waste, you mean?
Yeah, and the use of that, like, who manages the use of that land versus who regulates the use of that land?
The contract is with the Board of Selectmen, overseen by the Board of Health.
All right,
So they're contracted for a 3-year contract with the ability to maybe extend 2 years, if they so choose, or if we so choose. If we don't, we have the possibility, say the DPW wants to run it, that's benefit to the town, that's income for the town. We work either way.
Or if there are services that are beyond the scope of the current agreement, even at this point in time, regardless of the term of the agreement, it was always the ability of the town to use that land for some purposes beyond the services outlined in Solid Waste Solutions performed for the town on that site. So it's a very defined contract in terms of what they handle there and how they're to handle it, regulated by the Board of Health. And if the town decided to undertake some other activity on that would be allowed under the site assignment, certainly that would be the business of the town to pursue that. And that could include the town, either Board of Health, Selectmen, Department of Public Works, whoever you designate to do some other activity on there. Some of the things that come up when you have enough transfer station property, disaster debris management. If the town wanted to get into some composting for clean wood material, agricultural materials, create a compost product, or bark mulch, you could host that kind of activity there. The site assignment activity that covered that property had a regional component to it. In its development, that there was the thought that location might serve another municipality at some point as managed by the town of, by Waste Management for the town of Barry. Take Waste Management out of the picture, now town of Barry would control it. And it was always more of a long-term vision that property might serve some future needs once the landfill closed. And so there was even a regional recycling component that was under consideration in the very early stages of permitting. So there was a long-range vision there to serve the town of Barry.
So once assuming we make the vote and take it and all that, then we gotta
Yeah. I don't
kind
wanna do
of
that.
tackle the use of that land on our side with your guidance based on the regulations or the site assignment you allow based on your role as the Board of Health. Am I understanding that right? You kind of say this is what you can do with the land, and I'm not saying without you, but technically we would then try to find someone either in-house or outside to do that with that land.
Well, not while solid waste is under contract.
Well, I mean, like he said though, maybe we talk to solid waste and say, all right, we got 3 more acres. What's the give and take that works for both of us to see what we wanna do with that?
Correct. The nature of the agreement was developed to provide a cooperative. In other words, they don't lease the property from you. There was a lot of work went in with Board of Health and Selectmen and the development of how a contractor was to be brought in there, including looking at it once the land was available, even potentially selling it, leasing the property to a private company to run as a solid waste facility as they see fit, or contract operations. And it was felt by the group involved at the time, what made the most sense was an operations role, that the leasing really didn't fit what everyone was thinking about. Well, maybe we keep this as a contract operations, but we keep the property for some future use, possibly including when and if the town decided that they had enough ability in-house to take on that role themselves. So that was always part of the thinking, that was always a possibility, and also why the term of the agreement. I don't think that was, ever, that was even a concept discussed with service providers through the RFP process, because they were asking, what's your vision on this? How much are we gonna put into it? And what can we do here? What are our limitations? And it was felt that for the time being, that it's available as a service to serve the town of Barry alone, and that was a decision that was made. The value, I think, that the maximum value that I think the town would get out of this, because it is, by virtue of site assignment, always going to be a solid waste facility unless the Board of Health is asked to make that designation go away. That's a tremendous loss of value on that property. I don't see it being any more valuable than it is today as a site assigned transfer station, because that is a difficult thing to achieve. If you were to do that from scratch today, it's expensive and quite involved. And all that's been done for you. So it is valuable in its current form, either for the town of Barry or ultimately for you to get some commercial value out of in another way than you're currently doing it at some point in the future. But it will never go, that base value will never diminish.
One last question that I have is, with the 3 acres, if I'm correct right now, pretty much the 3 acres are just dirt and brush. I mean, they cleaned it up a lot, but there's no hardscape over it right now, separating the existing dirt from above. Am I correct that we would have to provide, or we would have to have someone provide a separation if we were to get into a composting or something, so that we don't have to worry about something here being sent somewhere else by accident through scraping dirt, rolling it in the process of composting?
If you were as the town of Barry to submit an application to DEP, and that application is essentially a certification that you're going to run a composting or a clean compost operation there, you have to comply with certain standards of the department as part of that certification. One of them is to develop a suitable surface to be able to maintain drainage, to keep deleterious or material that doesn't belong in the compost product from getting into the compost pile. So it's a backdoor way to get you to prepare the site properly. So you create essentially a compost pad.
Okay.
As long as it's a material that's not easily, easily diggable with, say, a front-end loader. It can be a variety of materials. There are certified, approved, regularly inspected compost facilities, including two that your current service provider operates, actually owns them. One's owned, one's a long-term lease. Those facilities are, one is gravel, hard pack gravel. The other site is recovered asphalt, brick, and concrete.
Okay,
Where
ABC.
DEP approved the placement of that material. It actually is a good medium for letting the rainfall not be on the bottoms of the compost piles,
Okay.
and provides a nice surface for working those compost piles. So there are a variety of approaches to that, short of actual bituminous paving. And to be honest with you, I rarely see anyone going to that extent for these open air windrow type facilities. That I would assume that low technology approach would be something you would do here as well.
Okay.
So there's a preparation that would occur normally as part of starting that operation.
All right, thank you, I
You're welcome.
appreciate that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm all set.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, I guess the issue is we have to do this jointly, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So you make a motion to accept the parcel and then you vote on it? And
Yeah.
We'll do the same.
Yeah, we won't, yeah, to combine both. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's the way it's been when I've done it before. So I guess I would look for the appropriate motion. Doesn't necessarily have to come from us here.
Yeah, your board will do a motion, then
Your
we'll do a
board.
motion.
We'll each do our
Okay.
own vote.
Yes.
Oh, I
correct.
see,
At the
Yes.
same
I
time.
see how you're saying.
No, you'll do
Okay.
it, then
I
we'll do
make
it.
a motion for us to
Okay.
accept this additional, to close out lot 2.
Yeah.
Accept the
Okay,
remaining.
and I will second it. Discussion, does anybody? Okay, this has been a long time coming, so.
So
The-
vote, roll call vote.
Yeah, it has to be roll call, but did you have anything you else wanted
No.
to add, Kurt, Mrs. Front? Okay, hearing none, we'll have a vote. I'll vote yes.
I vote yes.
You wanna make a motion?
Yeah, you make,
He's ready.
Go ahead,
I'm
Kurt.
gonna make a motion that we accept the parcel of land from
all in favor?
Well, I'll second it.
Aye. Yeah. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for being patient with me
Yeah,
and
thank
answering the
you.
questions. Happy to help.
I think before you
Appreciate it.
leave, I think we should note that I understand, Mrs. Frost, you're not running for the board again, and I just was curious, how many years?
To be truthful, somebody else asked me, and I'm not certain. It's
It's
a
a
load
lot.
of years.
Yeah, well,
Somebody probably has the records. Let's see how long.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
we'll figure, I know it's.
Thank you very much.
I know it's a lot, and we
She's got
thank,
one more meeting.
one more meeting, okay.
Begrudgingly.
She can't
No,
wait.
I will.
Can't wait, but we thank you very, very much for your
Thank you.
service, and it's
Appreciate
been a
that.
long, long time. And it's I know the board's a tough job, so thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Make
Make
a
a
motion.
motion to adjourn ours.
I'll
Okay.
make a motion we adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks again, Dan.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Kurt.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one, Mike. Appreciate it.
It was nice meeting you.
Yes.
Dana.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
too,
you.
Peggy. Much appreciated.
See you, Phil. Keep up the good work.
Thank you for your comments.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll hand you some papers.
Okay, I'll take
Appreciate
that.
it, Kurt.
Kurt? Good firm handshake.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, you have Gary's number? You gonna get that again? Cause I don't think he's planning on coming to work. I mean, unless you guys need. Okay, all right, well, sure, thank you.
Okay, I guess we're supposed to meet with police chief. Yeah. I see we have a Boy Scout out in the back of the room, and just stand up and identify yourself. I assume you must be on a merit badge, or,
Yeah, I'm working on two. I'm working on citizens, the community, and communications.
okay.
All right, nice.
My name is Tyler Chan Cantarino. I'm in Pier 257, North Brookfield.
Okay,
My rank is first class.
okay.
Nice.
Well, welcome to our meeting. Do you have any questions for us?
No, not yet.
Not yet, okay.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for coming, thank you for your participation in Scouts and
He
different
lives
org.
in Barry, but he goes to Norfolkville.
Yeah,
True.
yeah, I know, but
And I
we,
know the spelling of your name on the sign sheet. Okay, good, thank you.
And I did put next to him, you, Boy Scout, so.
Good, thank you.
and I'm sure if he has a question, we probably won't have immediate answers. That's the way some of those things work. Chief, I guess we have you on next. And evening. Oh, you got a different seat tonight, huh?
So, the reason that I've asked to speak with you is because we have the need to purchase 3 bulletproof vests. And we are taking delivery of our car theoretically this week, they've told us it's this week. And then the end result of the cost of the car is $37,115, which leaves us about $2,800 that was designated for a vehicle, and the cost of 3 vests is roughly that exact same price. They also sell vests out of this company, and there are other companies that sell vests as well. I'm not sure exactly what the process is, because this is capital, not budget, but the money's there, and we have the 3 new part-timers, and we have to buy them vests. We can't use the bulletproof vest grant because that can't be applied for until April 1st or so. Then there'll be several months,
Mhm.
to get the approval, and nothing purchased before the approval can be credited to the grant. So these vests fall in that, limbo area. So to let you know, that this is the price, and, we've got this need for vests, for 3 vests.
Okay. Now, these would be the same type of vest that the full-time officers have, or?
Yes, they are. Now,
Okay,
not the exact same brand, an actual.
yeah, okay.
Yes, the same thing, same threat level, same protection.
How many years are these vests supposed to last?
5.
5?
I believe by contract they have to be replaced at 5, and that's what they expire at, so.
Okay. And the vehicle is under the loan authorization, debt exclusion, capital investment, is that correct, under the budget?
It's capital, right?
So,
Yeah.
like you said, they don't mix, but. So how much was the total, 2,000 what,
It's,
remaining about?
$2,885 approximately, and the vest is roughly $880. It's right about even.
Okay.
What options do we have?
Hmm?
What options do we have to fund that?
Claire, I could see the question.
Yeah. So you wanna take the money that was voted for a cruiser to use for the vest? Is that what you're saying?
If that's possible.
I'm not sure it is, because the townspeople voted that amount of money for the cruiser if you get it for less. My understanding is that money goes back to the general fund.
Right, well, we cut from the equipment going into the cruiser, just so you know.
Yeah.
To have the surplus.
But I don't think you can do that.
Are you saying
When something's been voted,
cruiser
you'd
vests
have to go
and
back to
other
the
equipment?
town and ask them.
Hmm.
Do you have any other regular line item monies that could?
Well, this is a tight budget year, so.
Yeah, I
even though there-
understand that.
Even though there's money there now, and even in an administrative account, I don't expect that we really aren't gonna need it for something, so, we'd be spending it now and then coming up short.
Are they on the special town meeting warrant as one of the budget line items that was falling short? Didn't we have 2? The public
There's only
safety
2
building
articles
and-
on, there's only 2 articles on the warrant.
But what was the second warrant? I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember.
I had to do with the fire truck issue,
Oh, was it,
and
okay.
ladder thing.
Right, I forgot. It was the ladder truck and then there was the public safety building. Okay.
Well, we are short overtime, you're aware of that, right?
Yeah, that was the other
the warrant still open?
Oh, no, it's been closed quite
That's
a
okay.
while. Yeah, if it were open, then that wouldn't be, yeah, I think we could,
The accountant would be the only one.
yeah, I think
who
we'll
would
have to check with the
answer, but
accountant.
I don't think so,
Yeah,
cause
we'll have to check with Jean. I think everyone agrees that we probably need to do it, but.
Yeah, but,
Counselor?
Yeah, you could, check with town council, that would be a good way to do it.
Yeah,
He would be able to give you pretty much an immediate opinion.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I think,
I know the answer, but I'm not your town council, so I'm not gonna give you an answer.
Understood.
Suspense.
Understood.
cause I've always been told it's,
what?
whatever the town votes it for,
Yeah,
you have to go back to them and reclassify it.
yeah,
The thing with town council, he may be able to, first of all, answer that question directly.
yeah,
He could also potentially give you an alternative way of dealing with it. So it's probably worth the expenditure. I believe he's under retainer.
Yeah, I think so.
Just pose the question to him. He's going to know the answer.
yep.
Yeah.
I had a feeling you probably did. I can see two answers and you can probably make an
Yeah, I
argument.
don't think we can,
We'll just
on our
do-
own, approve that
We'll
request.
just
I
dump-
want to bring it to you for whatever process we,
Yeah.
we go ahead.
Yeah, we'll try to figure, hopefully we can work something out. I think everybody is aware that,
Can't you open the warrant and close it again?
oh yeah, we did that. It was open for a week.
Yeah.
She's asking,
But
can
like
we
I'm saying
reopen it and
now,
close it
or is
again?
Oh, I
time
don't
too close?
know. I
Are
don't
the
think we can
days
do
too
that.
close? It
What?
doesn't-
What's in the warrant
It
right
might be
here? Is
too
this the one
close.
for the
I don't
special
know.
Yeah, it might, yeah, we,
It's, is it gonna be
Annual town
30
election,
days?
so no,
Oh, the
this
election,
isn't.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
yeah, it's gonna be,
Because it's not 30 days yet.
no, it's not, but the warrant's been open, closed, and everything's done. The only way it could be done at the town meeting, I suppose, is if you had an amendment or something.
Yeah,
But we'll talk to Jim Baird and Jean, the
Yeah.
accountant, and see what,
because,
yeah,
yeah,
right.
they'd know if you can open it.
Yeah, yeah, and,
Because they've opened it before, but there's so many days, I don't
Yeah.
know what it is.
well, yeah, I hear you.
Another option is look at your,
That's another one of
non-capital
those
line
things I
items.
wouldn't feel real
See what
comfortable
internally
doing.
in your own budget.
But
you
I
might
think we
roll
agree
around to
that
get
there's-
through.
Yeah,
They,
If I knew this was gonna come
yeah,
back.
I think everybody understands they really have to have them, but
Yeah, I got it.
especially with the way things are. So,
Understood.
okay, we'll work on that.
Okay.
Did you have anything else, or,
That's it, other than in my budget presentation, just as the update, we were, I think, approximately 112,000 short in the overtime budget, and I just wanna keep people aware that we're working on it, we're still, I don't see any way back from that.
okay.
We're there.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much.
Yep. Okay, now I understand you have to leave a little by 8.
At 8 o'clock, I gotta take hopefully a short recess.
Yeah,
Just to,
okay.
address some personal business and come right back.
Okay, let me see what we can get through. Maybe we could just reconvene next week or something. I did attend a meeting with the Public Safety Building Committee last week. We've had quite a bit of discussion on some things that need to go on, coming up with the figures, and we're still working on that. One of the issues that we've talked about is, some vents that will hook onto the ambulances, similar to what we put in. They're not on the building. We're still working on some of the closeouts and things of that nature, so we haven't got the figure yet, but it will be ready for the town meeting. So that's about all I can say. It was a good meeting, and there's a construction meeting tomorrow morning. So we'll go over some things, so, just wanted to give you a quick update.
What was the?
We had the old business. I don't think we had to take any action on the ABCC thing. It was just acknowledge the receipt
Oh,
of it.
we need to sign it.
What?
Sign it?
Oh, we
Yeah.
need to sign it so it can be officially
Yeah.
submitted to the state. We are the, yours truly, local licensing authority.
I would think so, yes.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
The revised estimated resident population listed on this is 5,023 people in Barry. I would vote to make a motion. Do we have to vote
I think
on
you
this,
just
or we
need to
just
sign it.
Just need to
Thank you, I don't
sign
wanna
it.
sign- yeah, I
It
don't
has
wanna
to
vote
do
on
with
every
how many
signature.
licenses you can have, you know, so I don't know what would happen if we went down below after they're in, but that's okay. That's a discussion for a future board.
Yes. You lied, you had 5,040 people.
No, it's going the other, I think we're down below 5, I'm pretty sure.
We'll bring him in, we'll get a bus.
Okay, there you go, before I lose it. And, let's see, what else? I got
Snow
it.
and Ice, she has no additional information from Jason, he hasn't responded yet, as of
From who?
2/16. Jason Mental,
Oh, okay,
okay?
yeah,
Okay,
okay.
so
Why don't-
this week helped.
Yeah, gotta make sure we have to have a vote. What we're trying to do is get things out of schedule, and then we can take you earlier,
Thank you.
so you can get out, but in that way, when public won't sit here, we can skip around a little bit, and maybe put a couple of the other routine stuff.
Not too much.
What?
Not
No,
too
there
much.
isn't very much, actually. Okay, I think, no deficit, review of lunch policy, time cards. Phil, did you want to discuss that? Or that was yours, Matt, right? The
Discuss
lunch?
which? It was mine,
I didn't mean to say it that way.
maybe it would be worth holding off, cause I think it would be nice to talk to our labor council in executive session before we then bring it back to the front of the
Okay.
population.
Yep.
I just would rather have a moment to have that discussion
Yep.
first.
And, let's see, we need a vote on the New Braintree, including them in the animal control project with the other towns, our regional control officer. I understand
Did you
that
see the correspondence that was here? She said there was new correspondence in the file,
when they come in since.
The 12th?
Yeah, the one with the,
the 14th?
yeah, with the square,
Yeah, the
per
square
square
mile,
mile
yeah.
thing that I
Okay,
was
so you've
asking.
seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it, and my understanding is that she said she could handle the extra.
Yeah, that's what I thought I heard it read.
Okay. So I guess we need a vote to allow that to happen, from our perspective. Yep,
Is that gonna cost us money?
no.
Because she's got added,
No, it shouldn't, actually, it should, if anything, it would cost us a little less.
Because
I'm just thinking, is that adding
Yeah, I know how these,
more work for her and she might.
well, I
get
think
more
that was one of the
money?
things we were holding up on is, just being able to cover the ground and, these are
Yeah.
huge towns and land-wise, and just being able to take care of a lot of driving, just physically going from place to place, so, yeah, that was we've had this for a few weeks, as you know,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
That was our concern, can it be done, so, yeah, we don't have to add,
And it won't cost us any more money.
that's right. And we certainly don't wanna go back to doing it ourselves. I can tell you,
Yeah.
as a board
No, it's-
member, we definitely do not want that. So, we will need a motion on that.
I would make a motion to accept, including New Braintree for the remainder of fiscal year 17, for their fee of $1,259.96, as indicated in the communication from Rutland.
Mm-hmm.
What I would ask, though, is we do follow up just to find out if this $1,259, even though it's a minor amount, is going to be refigured for the actual fiscal year costs that Barry did put in,
Yep,
or if they're just thinking that's additional money to pay for additional costs they didn't expect or something, so they could clear that up for us and we know is it altering what we've already committed to in our budget that we approved last year? well, last April, June, whenever we do that. Sorry.
Talking about going forward into the next fiscal year or just?
No, we're bringing them in for the remainder of this fiscal year, and they're paying $1,200 and something to do that.
For the remainder.
Right. Where is that $1,200 going? Is it offsetting some costs we already put in? Or is there a contribution not adjusting the already approved funding for that position for this year? In other words,
I don't
who's
know.
getting the $1,200? Is it just Rutland's general fund? Or is it offsetting the line item that we agreed to pay by population? And I was just curious if you could get an answer from Rutland to explain if that additional $1,200 is just gonna help their general fund, or is it
Well,
going
if
to
it's gonna
be
do that, then why?
reduce some of our costs as well?
Right?
Well, that's the point, but they didn't say that, so let's just get it cleared up. But assuming we can work with Rutland, I still recommend that we accept this and know how to make any potential adjustments that may be needed in the
Mhm.
next fiscal year.
Okay,
I make a motion to accept.
with those caveats.
Yes.
Okay, and I'll second it. Discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote. Those in favor?
Aye.
Right. Okay, we need to sign the election warrant for April 6th. And the other thing is, we need to approve the land transfer for Mrs. Mackey up on Broad Street. It's a very, very small parcel, right? That's the one we're talking about.
I didn't review that. I can-
What?
I don't,
Yes, that's what it is.
yes it is.
That's
What?
the quitclaim deed?
Yeah, it's only, I think she's paying $1 for this. It's like, just a matter of a few
That's fine.
square feet.
We're selling it to her, she's gonna take over that land from the town, is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really, really tiny. I think somebody told me 20 square feet or something. It was voted at a town meeting, so that aspect of it done. This is the last step.
Okay. There's no gold on that land now, is there?
Didn't know what?
There's no gold on that land, is there? I mean, did we?
I would doubt it.
I'm just not very familiar with this request, so I just wanna read through it a little bit. You said this is. I have no objection.
Okay. Okay, so you wanna make a motion?
Make a motion to accept the, transfer of land.
Okay.
It's parcel 343 of the assessor's map.
Okay. Alrighty, and I'll second. In favor? Okay. We need to approve a common victual license for the Seven Hills Foundation up at Stetson.
This, just a reapplication, like a, or is this
I
a
don't
new
know the
thing?
answer to that, I'm sorry. I think their check had just come in, it was floating around, we weren't sure where it was to go, so I think she just processed it. We were waiting to hear
Okay,
back.
so this
Mhm.
is-
Yeah.
All right. I make a motion to approve common victuals license at 455 South Street for Stetson School, Seven Hills Foundation.
Okay, I will second. Okay, we have a resignation from Charlie Miller, who's on the Recreation Commission and the School Committee. I understand his term is up, I think, in April, but we will have to let it be known we have an opening for position on the Recreation Commission. I don't know if we need any
Yes.
votes on that, or,
And the school committee. You wanna read these?
well, his
Oh,
term is,
he also is the school
Recreation
committee?
Commission
and the
school-
Quabbin Regional School
School
Committee,
Committee.
yes. And his term is up in April anyway, so I don't think we'll have to take
Oh,
it.
so he was the one that is on the ballot anyway, his position was the,
It's
Yeah,
already there.
I believe it was. Okay.
Did you wanna read it out loud, or no?
Yeah, we need to make a motion on that, I guess, probably best that we do.
all right, Charles Miller wrote the following: Gentlemen, as we are moving from Barry in the near future, I hereby tender my resignation for the Barry Recreation Commission. I do this with mixed emotions since I have enjoyed my 10+ years on the committee. Hopefully I have contributed in some small way to the enjoyment and enrichment of Barry residents, both children and adults, through the town's sponsorship of a range of athletic, recreational, and cultural activities. I wish the Recreation Commission and all town officers and volunteers all success for the future. Best regards, Charlie Miller. So, I'd like to say thank you. And
Okay.
the,
You
School committee's on-
should have another one similar
no,
on the
he
school.
wrote more to the school committee, it's a longer. Dear committee members, QRSD staff, and Barry Select Board, as some of you may know, we are moving next week from Barry to South Burlington, Vermont. May have asked me, why in the H are you going to a place even more frozen than Barry? I guess the best answer is we've owned a condo on Lake Champlain for over 10 years and it's time to downsize. Plus, assuming my knees hold up, I'll still downhill ski, and when you reach a certain exalted age, the ski operators practically pay you just to appear upright on the slopes. So effectively, immediately, I'm tendering my resignation from the school committee. It's been an interesting and challenging journey over the past 8 years. 8+ years. I hope in some small way I've contributed toward the betterment of school district and aided the public good during a period of continual declining enrollment and tight budgets. I've surely enjoyed the lively discourse at subcommittee and full committee meetings as well as working with you all. What the future may hold for me regarding a local school board is indeterminate. However, I have read that South Burlington has been wrestling with the issue of elementary school rationalization from 3 into 1. Sound familiar? Best wishes to QRSD and the committee as you successfully sort through these issues. For those folks who might wish to stop by, perhaps on your way to Stowe or Quebec, I can be reached at such and such and such and such. And he says goodbye. So,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Yeah, some nice hot day, he just extended an open invitation to everyone in the town.
Yes,
Yeah.
limited to the, at least the verbals, notification of how. to
Yeah, I think
contact him.
Vermont is having the same problem all the small towns in Massachusetts are having with declining population in school, and it's going on all over.
So,
Okay. Okay, Bill, did you want to talk to us about the weather-related stuff?
Well, we had some difficulty, I guess, weekend or two.
Yeah.
That the policy in the personnel manual wasn't very helpful. It talked about a number to call. When you called the number, you got the IT director rather than some sort of closing message. And also, it was supposed to be posted on the town website and Facebook, which I didn't know how to do, and I'm not sure anybody was doing. So Faye Zukowski, the administrative assistant for the town administrator's office in the Board of Selectmen, suggested having a code red policy. She would get a list of employee email addresses and possible phone numbers. And once the decision was made to close by the town administrator, she would forward the message via email or phones to the town employees, hopefully with enough time so they can make plans, you know, whether to come in or not, depending on what the closure
Okay,
directive was.
so we can work that out, hopefully.
Yeah, and she'll also be working with Adam Suzor, the IT
Yep.
person, so to make sure that's all coordinated.
Yep, and the states of emergency I guess per our policy, you're called by yourself. It used to be the chair of the board or somebody on the board, but, you know, I don't know, we can work on that one.
All right, I mean, I could consult the board of selectmen if you'd like, or you could
Yeah,
just,
that's-
direct it to me as town administrator to make a decision. Either way, as long as I know what you wanna do. but
Okay. Okay.
The other thing is also working with the town clerk, cause I know that same type of list, she says a lot of residents have asked about, because then they know if offices are open or not, and whether they should be making a trip in for any reason, that, town people can get on a list that can be part of that email distribution. So as someone says, I would like to be notified of these things
We
going,
can do that.
they create like just an town list of them, like a email distribution list that just keeps adding people to the list as long as someone says, I wanna be on it. And then they just hit that email distribution group and say, all right, town offices are closed for the day. I know that was something, so I just, if you could talk to the town clerk, she had something in mind for some similar.
All right.
Could you use the 911, reverse 911,
Yeah, I think I don't know.
which calls?
Yeah, they do it at Quabbin, I guess.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know if it's for regular stuff, it's, you know, if it's just emergency, yeah. We'll work on this, we'll get,
Or also put it on the TV,
yeah.
because they run it on the bottom of the screen.
Okay, yeah, if we can
Or
contact the
watching.
TV and have the rolling at
Yeah,
the bottom of the
because
channel, tell you what's.
They do that for everything, town offices, churches, all
Okay,
kinds of buildings.
okay, and
Yeah, it sounds like it's something maybe we should look at it in a
yeah,
bigger
and I had
way.
also on, are you all set? Yeah. I had on the, agenda for tonight, to try and set up a meeting with our counterparts in the other 4 towns about Stetson and how, as we go into the budget, I think we're gonna need, you know, come up with a unified front, and I know we attended that meeting up at, Maureen's offices that
Yeah.
night, so we may have, but what I had thought was maybe Mondays and Tuesdays are seem to be meeting nights for boards, select boards around the district, and Wednesdays, I think, are finance committee nights for most towns, aren't they? Yeah, so I was thinking of a Thursday, maybe the 9th.
Thursday the 9th. Probably will work, let me just do a quick check.
And what I'd like to do at the, that meeting would be, you know, I guess we could have it here, but, you know, maybe get things started and just go over what the problem is and the magnitude of this problem. It's a big problem. It's a huge problem. And, so,
I do have something scheduled for the 9th.
okay,
And if we're looking for Thursdays, I have the
Right.
2nd and the 16th open.
okay, well, we can do it the 16th.
What did we, when did we set the special town meeting date? Do we recall?
What?
The date for the special town meeting?
Oh, it's the 28th,
Thank you. I was just,
yeah. Yeah, we can do it the 16th. Okay, is that okay?
works for me.
Where do you wanna have the meeting here?
Yeah, we'll have it right here, and perhaps what we should do is notify, you know, obviously the other 4 towns, and send a notice up to Quabbin at the chairman of the school committee and Superintendent Marshall, and probably should include Stetson.
Yeah,
Let them know we're talking about it as a courtesy. It's not really them per se we're dealing with here, it's the state we're really dealing
Yeah,
with.
there's a lot.
And I don't know what time's a good time, probably for everybody to get here, 7 o'clock, I would think.
okay.
Okay. Okay, I don't know if we need a vote on that.
Guess we got the assessor, administrator, yeah, the administrative assessor, working assessor,
Yeah,
they really just
Did you have copies of that?
rolled job duties between the two. and
Yeah,
then
I think
just
we gotta-
moved the money to comp, right?
yeah, we can put that one off for the time being, I think.
That was really, yeah, but that's really all it was, right? It was just like,
Yeah.
this
so
title used to do this,
what
but now this
we-
title will do it, and then we'll move the
Need
money
is,
with it.
could we need an executive session with our labor council? And I just asking our friend from North Brookfield if he had, North Brookfield Scout Troop, I'm sorry, if you had any other questions before,
No.
no? Okay, well, we're off the hook. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Claire?
Charlie, I've talked to Matt about it. Our cable station, what is wrong with it? They had black and white old movies, they had cartoons,
Yeah, I noticed that.
and they have the drug thing on continually. People wanna see the meetings.
Yeah,
Why aren't
Let
the
me,
meetings being posted?
yeah, who's that? What happened?
What's going on with that?
Yeah, cable, again, they've had some pretty strong,
Cable Advisory Committee, is
Yeah,
that their
well-
role?
yeah, that is their role.
Because I've turned it, I thought, well, maybe I'm not catching it right, but I've hit it every time of day. Sometimes it's a blank screen.
Yep,
Okay.
okay, we'll have to look into that. Yeah, if you like really bad B movies, occasionally they have those on with Martians and stuff.
Exactly.
If you like those,
And I turned it on one day, and it was cartoons.
Yeah.
Old cartoons.
yeah, very old cartoons, and I
Steve
saw
Ray.
things on there I was,
Where's the meetings?
you know, talking about.
It's a good point, so we need to
Why-
figure that
Why are
out.
we taping them if they're not being shown?
Yeah, I don't know. They had a thing on there about a year or so ago, gun laws in Maine or something. Kind of interesting, but I don't know. So, okay, with that, I've come to the end of the regular session. What?
I was just gonna ask Phil if he could reach out to the Cable Advisory Committee and see, one, if they still exist. And then if
Yeah,
they
we'll
do
see
find
what we
out
can
who
do
could
on
help
it.
us with this.
Yep. Thank you.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not sure who
I
still
don't
is
know what's
around.
in charge
I-
of that either.
There used to be committees that I thought were there, and then,
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
Did you sign that?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
What we need is, we're gonna have an executive session to discuss contract negotiations with with the police union and our public works employees. I would anticipate we'd be in for probably a half an hour and come out
You need
to adjourn.
Okay, I wasn't gonna stay for the executive
can
session.
stay.
Okay, you can stay.
Yep.
unless
Feel
you,
welcome.
unless you want Phil to do the minutes,
It's
and then you
okay.
can go ahead and, it's up
Either
to
way.
you two.
I can take the minutes if you like.
It's all right, I mean, I
Do you
can't
feel
stay.
comfortable?
It's fine, I
Yeah.
just didn't know if you wanted me to or not.
It's your call, I would suggest, based on your personal time, you know, like,
Yeah, that's okay.
you
It's
know,
just like,
leaving.
you gotta let the dog out, that's okay.
Okay, as long as we have the motion to go in and,
Sure.
All right, I would, make the motion to go into executive session, and, when leaving executive session, not to go back to normal business, is that the right way?
Yep,
Just
chapter
to proceed
38.
to an adjourn?
Chapter 38, Section 21, Paragraph 3, discuss strategy, and Teamsters Local 170 and MCOP Union Local 340. And it is 7:30, right on the dot.